Alright, so you came here looking for a quick way to up your crafting skill. Well, it's a skill right here. Oh, first, there's two ways, alright? Very quickly, I'm gonna go through them. You need your crafting skill 12 for the first one, which you make a bunch of iron bars. Then you make iron swords. It's also a good money maker because you can sell those swords. I don't have any on me, but you can sell them right here if you click this button. Second way, you gotta make these steel bars right here. Alright? You want to make a lot of these. Personally, I recommend getting about 60 iron ore and 12 coal. If you don't know where coal is, I'll be showing you where all this is. Now, then you come over here and you make steel swords. These aren't much better money makers, but they will earn you more when you sell them. Now, I don't recommend using cold steel if you're going to level up your crafting skill, because if you've thought of that idea, it's kind of pointless. First off, it requires the highest crafting in the game, and it's not very fun to reach. And second off, that's the pinnacle of crafting. You can't craft anything better. Alright, well, let's get to the locations. So, for those of you who don't know where iron is, I'm going to show you. I've noticed a lot of people, and I did this my first time starting off, they like to wonder where iron is as soon as possible and make better weapons so they can kill these thieves and bandits more easily. In which, you really want to do that. The problem is, if you're following my path right here, you see that's bandits in. You want to take the path off to the side. You're going to come up on this big gate with white fog, okay? And you can only do this solo, so you can't have someone help you out. Kind of start you off the game. Right here, there will be some white fog. Now you're going to cross this bridge. There will be 4 enemies. 2 enemies solo, and then 2 enemies together. It's not an enemy up ahead. It's probably another player. At least, I think so. Oh, no, this happens sometimes. Some enemies, their models will be left behind. That little rod over there we passed, you'll respawn there if you die on this bridge. You just want to defeat those 4 enemies. As we keep going here, you'll get to a place called the Feeding Grounds. So you see, like, everyone's model is stuck here for no reason. It's taking a while. First location will be iron, and then we'll go get some coal. Mind you, if you want to do the iron crafting strat, you do need 6 iron per bar, as where for the steel you need 5 iron per bar. You're still gonna need coal to make that. Now, you'll get to this bonfire after you go through the bridge. This is the feeding grounds right here. And then we're gonna go along this path. Now, you'll see a path down in front of us, like, all the way down there. I do not recommend traveling that. There's not much for you there. And to be honest, you might actually die there. It just depends on how good you are at the game at the moment. And keep following this path. You see that ribcage? Don't even bother with it. If you want to, you can go along that, but there are some giant crabs, and they are not very fun to deal with. Especially since I highly doubt you have brute armor if you're just now getting to iron. Because brute armor is a little hard to craft, and there's no iron armor. Now, down here there's some snails and snail eggs. The eggs are really big, hard to miss, and some nests that are also hard to miss. They look like birds' nests. Neither of these attack. Now, you can farm them for strength, sorcery, and archery skills. As you can see, the nest is back there in this pit, so if you want to know where to farm those skills, you can go here. I don't recommend farming strength with the snails unless you have a great sword. I recommend their eggs better because the snails leave this slime on the ground and it's poisonous. Poison is deadly. Now, here's the iron. And if you're having trouble believing me, it's an iron deposit. We're gonna mine some of this. I'll get like 11 ore right now. I'm not gonna go the full 60 I recommended. I think I recommended that. I do recommend 60 ore and then 12 coal if you're going to use the steel strat. I recommend as much as you can get without filling up your inventory if you want the iron strat, because you do want to leave a slot open. Now this brawn root you see on screen, I don't actually know what that's for. If you don't want it, just go ahead and discard it or sell it. I highly recommend discarding it because it's not worth much, and to be honest, you can probably get better elsewhere. Alright, I've been told it's for alchemy. This is much better. I don't even know what that's for. So, in terms of better, it is actually useful. I don't make much sense. But, on to coal. Now, we do need to go across this bridge. Normally, I just travel to the bonsai tree for this. So used to saying bonfire after playing Dark Souls. Anyways, bonsai. We want to go up and through this ribcage. Now, if I come across these crabs and they actually start to fight me, you'll see why I don't recommend crossing this, especially not early on. Now, I'll try to keep a lookout for these, show you what they look like from a distance, especially. Oh, you see that? You can see that, like, that red thing right there by the snails? That's one of the crabs. I don't know where the other one is. It might fully render in here in a moment. Or maybe not. There. They're not fully rendered. You can't see their legs. But those are the crabs. If you see those little green effects, that's where their legs are supposed to be. Do not fight them. Especially not without cold steel gear. Shadow silver might do. There's also the fact that it'll probably take you a few tries to kill them. I don't even know what their attack patterns are fully, so it's not saying much considering I haven't played the game. Here's our next bonsai though. Keep in mind, do be aware of those crabs. I've said it and we're past, but just a reminder. This is the subjugation stronghold. Very useful place. Now, after all this, I'm going to show you another bonsai you can get to, but that'll be after I'm done with crafting, so that way I can just leave that at the end of the video, so you guys can all get your crafting done. Now, these guys are pretty tough. I've got a shadow silver sword and brute armor right now, so they don't deal too much damage and they go down pretty easy. This dude's even tougher. If you can't stagger him, you're gonna really want to focus on not giving him time to attack, because he's not fun to deal with either. You know. Now, these three are stacked on top of each other for some odd reason. The enemies in this game do that. They'll like stack on top of each other. This is 3 in 1 here, I think. Unless the... Okay, no. Super armor dude isn't here yet. For some odd reason. But there will be another dude with the super armor thing. You can run past them. If you see this little sprint button right here, you can only use it in combat, and it wastes stamina but it's well worth it if you can get yourself past without being hit or without being without your stamina fully being taken out, or your stance. Your stance is the stamina bar at the bottom. Oh, and these titanium fragments I'm getting right here. They're really useful. You can make cold steel armor and you can make brute armor with them. They're not the most common drops, I'll admit. Now, a lot of the time you'll actually find these pretty easy to get, okay? Especially if you're really good with dealing with these super armored enemies. I say super armor, but I don't really know what to call them at this point. Here's the coal. I'll get one of this because you only need one per bar, actually. I forgot I need 4 bars for each. Well, since I can't edit this, I'm just going to reset. This will take you back to the bonsai you last rested at. Now, if you reset out of combat, and I recommend waiting at least a minute before you do that if you were just in combat, you won't drop any crowns, and like I said, you're taken back to the last bonsai. This is what we were at, if you don't recognize it. I know this looks different to me every time I respawn. I don't know about everyone else. Now, we're gonna go back to Gideon's camp, which is first bonsai. Here. So, that's one steel bar. That's one iron bar. I'm gonna record the rest of this because I can't really stop recording, make a new video, and then combine the two. I'm going to edit this. I'm gonna go get those other materials. Alright. After all that, I'll craft my other 3 bars. I got too much coal, don't worry about that. You only need 4. Trust me on this. I had 8 just now. I'm at 5. I only crafted 3 bars, so. Alright. Then you come over here. Now, I don't know if this scales with your crafting level or not. I haven't checked that. Here's how much an iron sword will give you. That definitely doesn't look like how much I got earlier. Here's how much the steel sword will get you. Not much more. I'd say the iron strat is better. If you want something that's slightly better and you'll have to work a little more for whatever reason, go with the steel route. Now, like I said earlier, you can sell these. 597, 554. And then this bronze root, it's worth like 16 coins. Coal, 23 a pop. I'm just gonna sell this because I don't really need it at the moment. Titanium fragments. You can sell these, but later you're gonna need them. They're 42 a pop. You're also gonna need these things called plasma cores. They're used for making cold steel. I had someone help me get 4 of them. We had a party of 4 members, surprisingly. I think 1 or 2 of them left. And it was just me and the player that was helping us. That's about the end of all of this. Have fun leveling up crafting.